Yo, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, y'all? Welcome back, Replicon Radio. We're here, we're doing it. Little special treat for everybody here. Little off the cuss interview as we do. Let's just jump right into it, man. This is a special guest here today. So straight out of Columbus, Ohio, via Austin, Texas. Give it up for my man, Jay BIZ. Boo, 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 boo. What up, brother?
What's up, fam? What's good, man? Jay Bizarre up in this motherfucker. Denny Mines Productions. What's good, Replicon Radio?
Yeah, just chilling, man. Hanging out with you on this beautiful Saturday afternoon, if you will. Getting to know more
nice
about
out.
the underground. Hell yeah. Right in the middle of winter, we got a day of summer, so.
Fucking awesome.
Hell yeah. So as you know, and most people know, generally, bro, what we like to do is we wanna dive in and we wanna go, way back to the waybacks. I guess probably around 2006 or so when you were kind of getting your feet wet into this music scene. But leading up to that, even more so, like what was it about, hip hop or horrorcore or wicked rap, whatever it was that may have influenced you or got you into not only making music but listening to music. Like where did it all kind of get started for you as an artist?
So like, not to even sound cliche in any way, but like, probably like, I'll say 96 is when I really first got into hip hop when Tupac got killed. I didn't even know who Tupac was. But I started listening to him and I fell in love with Tupac. I had listened to Snoop Dogg and stuff every once in a while, but I got into pop. So then I ended up moving up to Ohio. I was in Texas at the time, and ended up moving back up here with family. And then I just got into Tupac, collecting all of his stuff. I remember probably 97, 98 is when I started through old school BMG, getting CDs out there for a penny type shit.
And never paying for them?
Building my collection up.
I said and never paying for them?
I think I was one of the few who actually did pay for them. But it was only a couple cents.
Well, the first batch. Everybody paid for the first batch, and then it was you had to pay full price, and it was $15 or something. And you're like, no, I ain't buying that. I just want the 11 for a penny or whatever.
Man, that's old school. But that's about when I first really got into hip hop. I'd always listened to. My brother was big. My older brother, who I was with every day, so he always listened to rock and stuff. So I was exposed to that a little bit, metal and shit. And but I was really into rap more, you know what I mean? And then I think it was probably 98. I started doing. My mom was started doing poetry. She had her own struggles with relationship stuff with my dad, and she started doing poetry, which inspired me to do poetry. And it's funny because she had found one of my poems, and it was called Circus or something. And this is from before I was a juggalo. It was almost meant to be that I was a juggalo, because then around 98, I lived in Dublin, Ohio, and I think I was a freshman in high school, and I had a neighborhood homie who introduced me to, while I was listening to Tupac all the time and shit with heavy bass beats and shit, he introduced me to the Great Milenko, and then that's the album that got me in ICP, and then it kind of just flowed from there. I knew I liked doing poetry. I loved rap. I loved beats. I remember I'd go to I don't remember which stores it was back then, maybe Sam Goody or something, and get singles for cheap. You get a beat, you get an acapella, you get an instrumental, and I had one of those old school tape player CD combo things, and I would try to play one, and then try to match up the acapella to another song to that beat. And I didn't know nothing about patterns and shit. Then I just knew I really seemed interested in it, and I did it, and And so I kind of, after that, it kind of, I got into my stoner days in high school, fucked around, started freestyling with homies when I moved back down to Texas. And that's kind of how it all brewed up, so to say.
So you was just using you was using your old your boombox and making your own remixes and shit, huh?
Yeah. Actually, when I started, way before we started Den in Minds, when I first really realized, to be 100% honest, the album that really fully inspired me to rap was once I was already listening to Tupac, once I was already listening to ICP. When ICP and Psychopathic put out Psychopathic Riders Dumpin', that's the album, to me, in my head. I remember we was living out of a camper in Lockhart State Park, and we were going to school off that shit. And I remember having my headphones and getting this CD because one of my buddies had got it. And I remember listening to it a whole bunch and like, man, if they can just switch their styles like this, why the fuck can't I just start rapping? You know what I mean? And something in my mind clicked, and I still contribute that album as the album that got me actually to be like, okay, I'm gonna start writing songs.
Hell yeah.
And so it was probably at that point, it was already in the 2001 maybe. And from there, it was just freestyling with homies. We later in high school, we talked about, I had two other dudes I freestyled with all the time. One of my other friends, his name was Josh too, and we would always hang out and freestyle on, like you said, like one of those boom boxes. We'd record it on tapes. We'd get those little mini recorder tape things and record freestyles. All horrible, but we was getting it in. But that's where it all started. Like, that's where it all, it's kind of classic. A lot of people I've talked to about it are like, yeah, I remember doing that, and it's fucking awesome because literally that's how it was back then. Like that was the shit.
Hell yeah. No, that's super dope. Old dumping. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I get it though, because that's like your first. It's what I mean. It was beats, the popular beats that you recognize, but it was other people.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's super dope. Hell yeah. So that's when you guys all kind of came together and decided to start the group. Like, tell us about the group and how. Like, that was your first intro into like being an artist, right?
Yeah. Before I guess. So after high school, still, stoner, getting drunk, partying days with the same kind of smaller group of friends from Lockhart. We kind of, we'd get together, and we'd freestyle. And so I remember at some point being like, man, if we ever start a group, it's going to be Dented Minds. Like, Dented Minds has just always been the name. And so it was probably about 2000, I want to say late 2004. I finally invested. And I believe I used some tax return money. I remember going on to Dell.com, ordering a computer, which I still have to this day, and then going to Guitar Center and buying a Pro Tools because I lived in this place where all the rooms were rented out by different people, and so it wasn't like a normal living situation. Like, you rent a room to this house and then you have a common area. And one of the other guys that lived there, dude's name was Jason. He had a group and stuff, a band type thing. And so he was recording, and he recommended I get Pro Tools. And so I ended up, I got the Pro Tools M-Box, and then I got Reason. I believe that was the program he used too. So I went and got Reason, or he might have hooked me up with that. So I started making my own beats. And so probably by 2005, it was full. That's everything. That's all I knew. I would go to work, and then in my free time, I didn't have no kids back then. Sometimes a relationship, but my life was working on fucking beats, writing songs, and they might not have been the best fucking songs, but everybody starts somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And
for sure.
I actually recently did an interview a couple months ago, and I had said that I have all this stuff. But recently, as in the last 2 weeks, I was looking, and one of my hard drives is fucked up, so I might have lost all that shit. I had all that shit, all the sessions, all the clips, everything, and I think it's all gone now. I'm kind of sad about that. But terrible. You know what, Brighter Futures, it was all old, it was old stuff anyway, but, it's a little, heartwarming on that. But nonetheless, so come 2006 is where I dropped a group. I got with those two same buddies, and we did Dented Minds as a group. So we did that. That ran about maybe a year. Everybody had different objectives in life, career directions, yada, yada. I was just, working jobs, and my focus was music. So, of course, the group ended up splitting up, and I went solo. So come 2007, I put out my first, mixtape, Mind Bending, and I had a couple little projects I had built up, and I put out my first mixtape, though, and it had 20 songs, I want to say, and from there, for the next 10 years straight, I was putting out a 20-track mixtape every year. I was putting out a Halloween album every year from '06 to probably 2015, maybe.
Now, were these actual the old definition of mixtapes, in the style of Riders with stolen beats, or were they just?
Yes.
Okay.
With mixtapes, I considered them mixtapes. If the beat wasn't really that much, but I still made a song to it, I'd throw it on there. Or if it was a stolen beat, I'd throw it on mixtape. So therefore, I just put it online for free, which all of it's actually still available to listen to. If you go to SoundClick /JBazaar, you can just keep scrolling and keep scrolling. There's probably almost 200 tracks. That's just mixtapes and collabo groups I did. That don't count any of the Halloween albums I put out. And back then, those were MySpace days. I'd print the CDs and I'd sell them. So, I didn't have a huge fan base. I still don't have a huge fan base, but I still have some of those albums. I sell them on merch table and stuff. Some of them are out of print. I may bring back one day, but really my focus these days are on all this new shit. And I stepped my game up substantially in the past 2 years. Quality is the main thing. I feel, if you don't have a good quality, people, no matter how good it can be, people aren't going to give it that extra attention, until it's, ready to actually be fucking bumping equivalent to shit they listen to. You know what I mean? That's just Absolutely. The name of the nature of the beast,
For sure. Now, so you always went by the same name, even from the beginning?
Yes. Yes. I've done different groups, and I'm always JBazaar. There was a time a couple years ago I was about to change my name. I guess I won't get into those details, but I was working with someone who's actually pretty big right now. I was about to join on his label, but then he kind of joined another group and they got really successful. So now I just kind of do my own thing, and I'm of course keeping JBazaar because that's me all day. And and I had a conversation with someone recently about JBazaar is it I do dark shit, and I do positive, uplifting shit too. I do everything, every genre I've done. I've done some rock type shit. Recently I dug into the DMP vaults and pulled up a country hip hop song, and I decided I'm just gonna drop it and put it out. I put it up on my YouTube, and so I go under JBazaar fully because that's me, and I do everything. So a lot of people will kind of change their name, or for different stuff they do. And I've joked about kind of maybe coming up with another alias just to do it, but really it always falls back on I'm JBazaar, and that's what I do. You know what I mean?
For sure. Where did that name originally come from?
Well,
is there a story behind the name, or
one of them? It's a little combination. JB is my initials, Josh Bleen. So JB, JBiz. The biz part, I've always been pretty active, pretty busy. I stay busy. But also another sign back when I did it, it was the Bazaar albums from ICP, because that kind of, like I said, Psychopathic Riders really inspired me to actually do something.
Yeah.
I really like the Bazaar albums. I felt like they were very versatile, and I feel like I'm pretty versatile with styles and stuff. So kind of the Bazaar portion of JBazaar was a little more influenced with that too, just a little bit, but really it just kind of happened, just kind of flourished, and I can't really contribute it all to any particular thing. Just it kind of was like it was meant to be. Like I tell people sometimes, even with the music or whatever, it's like I have antennas and I get signals from the fucking universe or whatever, and I have to just do it this way that it comes. It's crazy. Some shit happens, I'm like, damn.
I feel I understand.
I can't explain it. I can't explain it. It just happens, and that's one of those things. My name came about that way. Everything.
Shit definitely
formed the
happens
way
how
it
it's
is.
supposed to, for sure. That's it.
Exactly, as if it was meant to be. But I don't, we don't all know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But those are great records. Especially if you're, you know what I mean, you're growing up in that era, which I did as well. Look, I was blown away by those records. So I can
Oh yeah.
understand being inspired, and I'm looking forward to seeing them live this summer. So.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be really fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
Really dope. I'm excited. It sucks. Oh, it doesn't suck in any way, but I shouldn't say that. But I wish, like, of all years, this would have been a dope year for me to get on the Gathering. But I just performed at the Gathering last year, so I know they don't do the same artists back to back. You know what I mean?
You never know.
But I was pitching it. I got, like I got like 2 new music videos in the works about to drop, and I got a lot of shit that could possibly get me in the door. So I don't know. I'm still gonna try, but most likely I won't be able to get on this Gathering. But I'm gonna definitely try. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the Gathering to be on as a performer to me. Because I mean, fucking bizarre. You know what I'm saying? How fucking dope.
Hell yeah! Everybody's been waiting for it. I'm pumped. I'm super pumped. I didn't even know if I was gonna go. I've been to all 20, and I was like, I probably ain't gonna go to 21. I did it, and then they were like, bizarre. I was like, nope, done. There. Didn't even think about it. Like that was the one thing. I was like, when they do it, I have to be there. And they're doing it at that dope ass venue where it all kind of started, the outside stuff, which is dope too. So
yeah, that's really fucking awesome, dude. Like, it's really cool how, the Gathering has been so many places, kicked out of so many places, yada yada, and it's fucking going back to like the home base, or so to say. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. Like, I'm in Ohio, so like Legend Valley's dope as fuck too. But I've never actually been to where it's gonna be. Was it Nelson Ledges or something?
Yeah.
Is that how you?
Yep.
Yeah, man, I'm excited.
It's
and
great.
Apparently, no fuck that hill.
Yeah, there's none of that fuck that hill. Like, I mean, like
awesome.
I said, it's been so long. Like I don't even know if we had, like, I mean, we were kids then, but yeah, it was. Yeah. I know this isn't about the Gathering, but it's like there was I still as many gatherings as there are, a lot of it fades together, but I still remember like that location because it was so fresh. Because it's like you got the open area where the stage is, and back then it didn't go all night. It ended, and the Juggalos went into the woods, and that's where like the parties started. And they were all created by us. Like there was no official event after the main stage ended. So I don't know what they're going to do different. They're going to have to add another stages, but it's like once you get into the woods, it's a whole other world. Everything's like covered. The trails are all covered, and they're all nice and shady and like lit up. And it's dope.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Cannot wait, man.
We'll be out there for sure. So after all this time, man.
Link up and kick it a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So after all this time, you're still out there. You're still doing it. Jay Bizarre, you just dropped a bunch of stuff, but I mean, recently, at the beginning of this year, you dropped the 2020 Dented Vision.
Yeah.
And what else? Sorry. So that came out this year, and then at the end of last year, you had the Dented. Yeah, and then at the end of last year, or September of last year, you put a record out. So you had 2 records in the last like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. I've been on it, man. I've what's that old movie? Stella got a groove back. Disney got his groove back. I had like a little downtime from like 2006 to 2008. I kind of wasn't myself, man. I was kind of fucking up. However, I still put out like singles, and it's funny because if you go listen to those singles that are still on SoundCloud.com/JBizarre, they're still up there, and like it's like there's a lot of positive shit. Then there's a little like I don't know. It's the same me, but to me, I feel like it's different. I don't know how to explain it. Like, but I leave it there, and that's why I leave it there. I kind of just. I don't know, but I still kept putting shit out, but it wasn't albums. I stopped putting out albums. I didn't have mentally the grasp for a little while where I didn't what really triggered it, I think, was I had this run of doing Halloween albums for 10 years, like straight. And I was going through, shit with like my son's mom and and dealing with drama, you know, how it is with having kids and shit, you know, negative vibes and stuff. And I just could not complete a thought, so to say, is where I could do songs, but I couldn't envision and pull together a whole project. In fact, I put myself under pressure by saying, oh, I'm going to put out another, you know, my 11th Halloween album. And it was just so much pressure on me. I missed the date. Then because I missed that date in my head, I beat myself up like, man, I just started spiraling down. And those are some of the lowest times of my life. You know, I've gotten through a lot of low times in my life, but those were kind of low because I was really, during that time, it was me, realization, hurting myself more than actually, you know what I mean, other things have inflicted me, so to say. So I slowed down during that time. However, spiraled back up late 2018, dropped an album called Strictly Did It. I showed myself that I could do all the same shit still. I pulled every style I had, mainly the darker shit, because I think, you know, I'm a juggalo, so yeah, I got a darker style on my shit for the most part. I pulled that fucker out, and I dropped it like a week later than it should have been technically, but I still dropped it around Halloween. And then from there, like beginning of last 2019, I dropped a collabo album with the Sniper, another artist here in Columbus. And then I did some pretty big names not tours, but shows like, you know, like ICP and Twisted and, you know, all our top candidates in our scene, so to say.
Sure.
Did some of those events here all around different states, a couple different locations, you know, opened for Esham a couple times. So, you know, positive things are happening. So come later 2019, last year, I had I landed the Gathering slot. That was a bucket list thing for me. So that juiced me the fuck up. Like, I was like, yes, you know what I mean? I made sure we went into that bitch. We had an exclusive Gathering shirt, gave out a sampler CD, limited print. You know, we got thousands of flyers, went out dishing them, talking to ninjas and shit. You know what I mean? It was a super productive thing for me as an artist.
How did it go? Did you guys do the cannibal stage?
Good, man. Yeah, we was on the cannibal stage.
Dope.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. It felt good. So then, I used the Gathering as my final promo before the album dropped. I didn't drop the album and try to sell it at the Gathering. I pushed the performance at the Gathering and promoted the album about to come out. So I did it that way. So then came the album drop was probably 2 months after that. And then, so I got that album done and got it all up, you know, blasting it. Turned out fucking beautiful. I've been working with a new producer, JJ Lewis from Straight With It Records. And he makes my shit sound so much better than it used to sound. Like, it's so professional now. Like, so that's my dude. We fucking ride. Like, I got him on. He takes care of all my important shit. Make sure everything's sounding good. So then the momentum from that album, I had beats coming in from him, from other producers. I was just stacking up more tracks. I'm like, well, fuck, I'm going to drop a New Year's album. And then that's how Did It Vision came about. It was a self-realization that, you know, I'm about to do this shit solo again, because I was doing it solo, fell off, got in a group, did another solo, got in another group paired up with other people. And then I just realized, you know, my Den and Vision, you know what I mean? Like, I've been doing this shit. It's time I fuse those mixtape styles. It's time I fuse this dark shit. And that's what I did with Identity Crisis, and that's what I did with Den and Vision. And now this year is loaded with releases. Another collabo album with a new artist I'm working with. This dude, the Sinful Killer, I believe he's out of Dayton or whatever. We've been working together because we just clicked. And so, like, we're about to drop this collabo album. It's on some dark ass. It's letting me get into my horrorcore shit again, just for fun. You know what I mean? So I like doing it. It's what I do. Like, I like doing wicked shit. So I'm busting out some wicked shit with him. Like the whole concept is like going to hell. Like, it's a wicked ass, almost a story, so to say. It's gonna be like 6 songs. And this is actually, I'm leaking this now. Last time I talked about it publicly, I didn't let these details out, but my dude's on his way over here from Dayton now as we speak, because we're recording tonight. So that album's coming. And then I got something else that's going to be out of nowhere. I'll say that. I haven't said that publicly either. And then I have what I was calling a Halloween album, but I decided I'm going to wait till November 1st to put it out, so it's not a Halloween album, because I'm just past that whole concept. I'm over trying to drop Halloween albums. It's November 1st, I'm going to drop it. It's called Mind of Madness, and it's me. I've learned to delve into my own mind and go back to when I was like a little fucking hoodlum running around doing stupid kid shit, running like where I for one song I recently did, a song called Play Nice. Shout out to my dude Brain Dead for the production on the beat. I knocked this song out in like a day, and like it's me delving into when I was a kid, running around with my brother, we lived in Bel Air, Ohio, which is like right by Wheeling, West Virginia, but across the river. And we'd run through the fucking woods, dude. We'd fucking run all over this town, like just fucking hoodlums, and like just kind of like telling some stories. And then I kind of delved into some shit when I lived down in Texas and skipping school and getting high. I kind of delve all through my youth, my adolescence, and I've never done that. Like I've never, dug into my own mind. I only have grabbed concepts, or I just haven't done it like this. I've delved into my own mind, so to say, but this is really like me going back into memories and recreating things. And to me, it's perfect for Mind of Madness because it's explaining why Jay Bizarre is bizarre. It's saying why Denny Minds is why I'm Denny. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, like I tell people, everybody got scars. Everybody's in it, but you got to keep functioning. You got to keep trucking. You got to keep stepping forward. And that's what I'm doing this year. 2020 is fucking perfect vision on what I'm trying to do. Denny Vision all fucking day. So it worked out that I dropped this Denny Vision up on January 1st because there's so much coming just this year.
Hell yeah. That's awesome, man. And so last weekend you actually rocked out a big show with the homie Jay Villain, right?
Yeah. That's another thing I haven't announced yet. I'm actually going to use that as a tool to get motherfuckers to listen to this motherfucker right here. I locked in the show with Twisted at Scully's. I performed with them before, but it wasn't a solo set. This year I'm rocking solo shit. I'm fucking hitting hard this year. On my last album, 2020 Vision, I mentioned this song in a song called Finally Caught Up. I had fucking around being a dumbass. I got caught up with an OBI. And so it kind of put me to where I'm not supposed to be driving the shows. I'm supposed to only drive to work and back. You know what I mean? Luckily, I have that privilege. You know what I mean? Because they don't always grant it. So I got myself in a predicament. You know what I mean? And so I had to flip that negative shit into something positive. You know what I mean? So now I'm in a mental state of, I made that song to try to bring light to the concept, like, hey, y'all need to fucking be careful driving drunk all the time, because I did it plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of times.
Me too.
And I look back at it like, goddamn, selfish as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I had to go do a 72-hour driver intervention class like 2 weekends ago, and I had to watch those 90s videos of people who was in high school partying with their friends, went out, killed some people, killed a family, killed a mom, you know what I mean? I got to think of all that shit. Like, damn, that really can happen. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
You're not untouchable. I felt untouchable, and you're not untouchable.
I've been there,
people
man.
People gotta realize that.
I did the weekend class. I got 2 DWIs back in the day.
Yep. So you already know it's not worth it. Not even the financial part. The fact that you could get pulled over and feel perfectly fine. Like, I felt fine, but I was over the limit, and my ass was speeding. So obviously, I wasn't being very responsible, speeding right past the cop. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, it can happen. And if there's a wreck, someone hits you, and you got alcohol over the limit, well, now you're the one at fault regardless. If somebody dies, you're charged with manslaughter. You know what I mean? Like, it's not worth it. So anyway, I'm back to me focusing on Jay Bizarre, focusing on Denny Minds Productions. Denny Minds Production is just me. I'm working with a lot of people this year. Like I said, I got a collabo album. I got multiple collabo tracks on all these projects I'm about to drop this year. But at the end of the day, this year, pretty much every show I'm doing, especially big name shows, you're going to see Jay Bizarre. I just today I ordered my new stage banner.
Dope.
You're going to see presence. You're going to see all the Denny riders out there at the shows fucking holding it down. I'm not doing 100 goddamn shows anymore. I've done that for years. I don't need 100 shows. if anything, it's taken away from me focusing on music. You know what I mean? And now that I've stopped because I can't drive to all these shows myself, you know, I got 4 kids. So I got to line babysitters up and pay for it if it's not someone who's family, and pay for the gas, and then get out. And you know what I mean? It's so much responsibility. It gave me a purpose to not do all 100 shows anymore. I'm not doing all the little shows. I'm doing big hitting shows, power plays. 2020's power plays for me. And this is starting it out right now. Fucking April 19th, Scully's in Columbus, Ohio, Twisted. Catch Jay Bizarre solo set. My dude Jay Villain's going to be up there doing a solo set. And we got music together. He's actually going to be on an album. He's on a song. He came last weekend, the day of the headlining show that we threw at Poor Boys last weekend, which actually turned out bomb as fuck. He came that morning and dropped his shit for me because he knew it was important. So, like, balls are moving around here. Balls are juggling around here, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got shit cracking around here.
Hell yeah, man. I'm glad to hear the show last weekend went dope with Jay Villain. Shout out to Jay Villain.
Bro, we had a bigger crowd. We had a bigger crowd than some of these headlining shows that we are opening for. Put money in their pockets.
That's dope. We
had a bigger crowd, more support, more love. People didn't just flood out. They stuck around, sold hella merch. Love. It makes you realize, you know what? We don't need a headliner name necessarily. You know what I'm saying? We don't need that. The purpose of a headlining name for me is to be able to get on it, set up my shit, bomb that motherfucking set like a you know what I mean, gun on that set. People to be like, damn, this dude's killing it. Hey, what's up, man? You know, people I ain't met before. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, that's the purpose for me, and that's what I'm doing with this Twisted show coming up. Like, you're going to see me up there going in on it, and then motherfuckers are going to know what's up, and then they're going to come out, hopefully, to the next solo show I throw. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely. That's going to be a dope show, man.
Game.
Twisted, the dynamic duo. You got ABK, Axe Murder Boys, Twisted, Jay Bizarre, Jay Villain, who knows who else. That's super fresh. April 19th at Scully's. Pre-420 extravaganza for all the smokers out there.
Exactly. Once midnight hit.
Yep. Absolutely.
The whole month. In clouds.
The whole month's the holiday. That's why they're doing the tour.
Oh, yeah.
420, 420 on 420 all month.
Man, that's why I seen one of those memes where they're like, when you realize 420 April is 420 all month, right. It's like Snoop Dogg looking high as fuck.
Hell yeah, that's hilarious, man. So it sounds like you got all kinds of
marketing on their behalf.
It sounds like you got all kinds of big stuff going on in 2020, man. I definitely look forward to seeing it. For everybody that wants to go check it out now, you can go to that new record, 2020 Dented Vision, dropped January of this year. You can stream it. It's on Spotify, all streaming platforms. You can check them out with Twisted on the 19th. How do they keep in touch? What's your social media? Is you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook? Like,
I'm on all of them. I don't really fuck with Twitter too much. All my Facebook filters through to Twitter though. So if you went to my Facebook or to my Twitter, which is Twitter/JBizarre, JBIZR, pretty much every social media, it's JBIZR, except Facebook is JBIZR Music, so MUSIC. And that's my artist page. I have my personal page too. I'm sure you can find that if you want to network with me. I cross promo on those sites all the time, but definitely hit me up on Facebook.com/JBizarre Music. And again, that's JBIZR MUSIC. And a lot of shit coming. Like I said, two brand new music videos coming. One for a song off of that 2020 Dented Vision album called Mean as Fuck. And then the other one is off of the previous album, Identity Crisis. And I'm going to leave it a surprise. So when it drops, I'll be like, oh, he did that one. Dope! You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to let y'all know that yet. I gave y'all a shit ton of info.
There you go. Hell yeah. New music, new videos, big shows, all kinds of stuff popping off. Make sure you guys keep track and keep following, and we'll definitely let you guys know what's going on as well. I do have one more question for you, brother, because we asked all of our guests the same shit, so you're not going to get away without it. Essentially, you got 3 records, man, that either inspired you as a person, as a man, as an artist, maybe even as a father. You know, maybe you listen to them when you're sad or you're happy or whatever it may be. 3 records that you just could not live without. What would they be?
All right, that would be, like I said, Tupac, All Eyes on Me. That's a perfect time frame for what I like from Pac. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood, Sex, Sugar Magic. That's my feel-good shit. When I'm feeling like shit, I put that in, and just the funk, fucking makes me feel amazing. And the third one, man, those two I know deep down. I feel like, I guess, yeah, I don't know. There's so many ways I could go with that. I could split this last one into a few. I like Blaze One Less G, but that's just the Blaze department. You know what I mean? I like Twisted Mirror Mirror because the darkness of it. That's just the Twisted department. And then let's say ICP. Great Malenko got me into it all, to this whole scene, man. Fucking, I have to say, Great Malenko. You know what I mean? I had to split that last one up to the Juggalo world. You know what I'm saying?
And I was expecting Bizarre since it was the.
No, because Great Malenko really drew me in. I was like, these motherfuckers are hilarious. Bizarre was dope as fuck.
Hell yeah.
Very versatile, double disc. Came out on Halloween or the day before or some shit.
Yep.
So that was dope.
Yeah, Halloween. That was a big
Great
day.
Malenko, man, I would have to hold closer, man. Like, take me back, man.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, well, that's a lot of people's. But yeah, that Bizarre, I forgot about that. That was a big day, wasn't it? It was Bizarre, and Freak Show all on Halloween.
Yeah.
3
that
records.
Was epic, bro. I remember getting all 3 discs. All 3 motherfucking CDs, man. I was like, yeah.
That's just
I had the flyer from the documentary DVD. I had that fucking, I believe that's what it, when I got it, I think it was from the documentary.
Probably, yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm almost certain. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's where I got the flyer from. It was like a double-sided flyer.
It could have been, yeah. I don't know the times. But yeah, probably, because that came out. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know if the documentary came out in like 98, though, but I swear that's what it was on.
Yeah,
because
Jekyll Brothers came out before Bizarre.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe it came with Jekyll Brothers. No, that wouldn't have been it either. I think a dumping flyer might have came with that.
Who knows?
Maybe Lotus.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's been so long, too many blunts.
It was a long time, yeah. Hell of a long time ago. Hell yeah. Whoop, whoop, and all
Nonetheless, all the OGs know what's up.
Hell yeah, for sure, man. Well, definitely looking forward to seeing what you have coming in 2020, man. Big shit popping. Hopefully, everybody comes back to this for years and they're like, oh, dude's dope. He was on Replicon. So, any last words, any shout outs, anything you want to say or we forgot about before taking all your time?
I want to shout y'all out for giving me the opportunity, you know what I mean? I know y'all got a lot of motherfuckers out here, so it's not easy to keep up with everybody. So I appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity to, reach out through y'all as a platform, and everything. Shout out to everybody I fuck with right now. You know who I fuck with because it's probably you. And shout out to my family, my wifey, my kids, my family who understands me and doesn't judge me for being a fucking juggalo and doing music. And then shout out to fucking just the whole scene that supports, that isn't always at war with themselves, and everyone who actually just listens to music for the music. If you you out here picking sides because of this or that is drama that don't involve you type shit, well, fuck off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, other than that, much love to you because we all the same out here. You know what I mean? Like, if you got love, and it's recognized in my eyes. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Underground unity all day, man. So we try to do. We spreading that shit. So, hell yeah. Well, much love, brother. And
all right, man. Hey, much love and stay in it.
Hell yeah, bro. Peace.
Peace.